All right, folks, this is part 2 of my stone coat countertop sample board. Actually, look, my counters are completely done. No, they're not. That's just my sample board. But it came out really nice, and it was nice to make a big sample board to show the wife what it would look like in real life. And it does work. So I wanted to go over a couple things real quick. I'll show you my list if you can see it. Basically, it is quite forgiving and pretty easy. So I definitely think it's a do-it-yourselfer project, and I'm going to actually expand my project. I'm going to do my bathroom now. It's about a 9 or 10 foot vanity because I want another practice run before I do my main kitchen because I got a ton of counter space in the kitchen, and I would rather practice one more time with the application of my colors. So here's what I learned. I'll give you a couple quick tips that I learned as a first timer. Mike's right. You can do it. I think it's totally a do-it-yourselfer product, and it is very friendly. Okay, use of the alcohol when you're spraying it on. Use it early in the process because it doesn't seem to have as much effect once it starts to cure a little bit. So I would use it in the first 5 minutes. So you can see that galaxy looking effect, that pockiness. That's what the alcohol did, and it's really cool looking. I'll show you more of it. And that made it look really cool. I wanted to do it more, but as I waited a little bit and started trying to do it later, it didn't have much effect. It must be the paint sunk beneath the epoxy. It can no longer be affected by the alcohol. So I was using the 91% isopropyl alcohol. And then the edges. So the trick with the edges I found is I wouldn't brush them after your color coat. They just blend in and look less natural. So I just let them, you brush it on, your base color and get it in there good. And you definitely want a nice finished edge to work with. So if it's a bumpy particle board edge, you definitely want to fill it before you do that. But if you're going to do your edges, just after color, don't mess with the color, don't brush it. Just do that gloved finger and get rid of the drips. And they weren't really a big deal, the drips. So, the glove finger's enough. Do it every, 20 minutes or something. Check it and go from there. The other thing is make a few ounces extra of your base coat, in this case, the white. And you can use that as an eraser if you put on too much black. Like I put on too much black here, and I only had a little bit of white left in the bucket, but I did pour it back on to use it as an eraser and break it up a little bit. So that's kind of effective. Definitely do that. And it doesn't smell, this epoxy. It is amazing. The paint smelled, and I actually sprayed the paint outdoors. That's my other tip. I shot the paint into plastic cups, and then I poured it on. And I did the spraying outside, brought the cup inside the garage and poured it on. Now I want to control the way I pour it better in the future, and I think I'll use the paint stick like Mike shows you. I might even use, just dab the paint stick on there. And then I dragged around actually those toothpicks that you use for picking your teeth, the ones with the floss that have the 2 fingers. And I dragged those little toothpicks through here, plastic toothpicks, to make designs and stuff. And then the paint stick, of course. But I like the toothpick because it cut right through it and it had 2 prongs that kind of dragged lines through it. The metallic silver paint was really cool. So that was a neat effect. If you can see that nice chunk of metal there, right there, and then a couple sparkles over there. But this thing came out really cool. It was fun, and it is incredibly easy, and it dried up nicely. And I have all positive things on this stuff. I'm looking forward to do the bathroom as my next practice run. I'm gonna, like I said, just do the same thing with a little less black, and I'll probably run my lines a little more with the counter and go from there. But I definitely think this is a great product. It's very do-it-yourselfer, and it came out really cool. So the wife loves it, and so I'm going to go for it. Thanks for watching, and I'll do another couple parts after this to fill you in on how things go. This one doesn't even have the flood coat on it, the final coat. So I did create a divot in it, but I think I could erase that with my flood coat. I don't know if I'll bother on the sample board to make the flood coat, do the flood coat, but I think the final coat. But I think if you have any divots or anything, that will erase them if you let that final coat flow out and settle. So good luck, and I'll do some more parts after this. Thanks.